Well, guys, I don't want to say I'm back because every time I say I'm back, I disappear for another 2 months. I know, guys, I'm sorry. I've just been really busy with school and other things, so I'm sorry. But this video is going to be a little bit different. I normally don't make videos like these, so if you guys want to see more videos like these, just let me know in the comments. Have you guys ever just laid down in bed, scrolling on TikTok, seeing these other people make Gorilla Tag fan games, then realizing, hey, I can make a fan game. So you hop on your PC, you look up YouTube videos, you start your project, you do everything right, everything is going great, but something's missing, the trees. So you go on Sketchfab, no trees. And if there are trees, they cost money. Go on YouTube, no tutorials on how to make Gorilla Tag fan game trees. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make a Gorilla Tag fan game tree, because I don't think are any videos, because I definitely struggled with this when I was making mine. And no, we are not gonna be modeling this in Unity, because if you've ever tried modeling anything in Unity and you're not very familiar with it, it won't go well for you, especially if you're trying to make a tree. So that's why we're gonna be using this free software called Blender. So enough talk, let's just get right into the video. So once you have Blender downloaded and installed, you will be prompted with the default camera, cube, and light, which we don't need that. And you can see every button that I click right here, just to make it easier for you guys. So the first thing I'm gonna do is delete everything. So I'm just gonna click A to select everything, and then X to delete. Then we need to add our actual tree trunk. So what I'm gonna do is go over to add at the top left, mesh, and then cylinder. Now don't click off of the cylinder because we need to mess with this. And if you click off, it'll go away, which is fine. You just have to select the cylinder and delete it, and then re-add it. But you wanna click on where it says add cylinder, and at the top where it says vertices, you wanna turn it down to about 10 or 12. I normally like to go around 10. Once you've done that, you can click off the cube now. And now we just want to scale it down. So by clicking the cylinder, I'm going to click S and then Z, scale it down. Or you can use the tool by clicking it on the left. And if it's not there, then just click T and it'll go away and pop up. So I'm going to click S and Z and scale down to about there. Now what we're going to do is actually make the shape of our tree. So with the cylinder selected, I'm going to go over where it says object mode and go into edit mode. Then right next to where it says edit mode, there are 3 little icons, and we want to click the second one or click the number 2. Then we want to click on one of the sides, not the top or bottom, just one of the sides. Then we want to go over to the move tool and actually start making the shape of our tree. Now don't click the center, because if you click the center, then it'll look weird and be deformed. So I'll get back to you guys when I have my tree shape. So now we need our tree to actually be a tree, like the trunk. So where it says edit mode, I'm gonna click the face select mode. Then we're gonna select the top of the cylinder. Then I'm gonna go back to the move tool. And here are the viewports. So the X, Y, and Z axis. So if I click the X, it'll align me perfectly along the X. And if I click Y, I'll do the same, and then Z for the same. But I'm just gonna click the X for now, or Z, doesn't matter. Just the horizontal. And I'm gonna drag the blue arrow to where it drags it up to about to the 2 meter mark. And if you want to move around like this, all you have to do is hold down shift in the middle, as you can see down here. So this just looks like a broken pole, so we need to make it kind of curve in like your Gorilla Tag tree. So by clicking S, I'm gonna scale it in just like that. And now we have So now that we have, so sorry guys, but the shortcut that I'm using to show you all my buttons turned off for some reason, so this part of the video you don't see any of my buttons clicking. Very sorry about that, but the rest of the video you can. So now that we have the base of our tree trunk, I'm actually gonna make the bottom part a little bit wider. So I'm gonna go down and select the bottom part with still the face select mode selected. Then I'm gonna click S to then scale it up, or you can go to the scale tool and then inside this white circle, click and then drag. But I really just find S to be way faster. I think that's good. Now I'm just gonna make the top a little bit thicker too, and I think that's good. Now you can make this taller or shorter if you want, but I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Now what I'm gonna do is, personally, I think the tree is a little bit too straight. Now if you look at the Gorilla Tag tree, it's straight, but I kind of go for more looks. But the way that I'm about to show you is also playable too, so it works both ways. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in edit mode, and I'm gonna go to the X or Y axis. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go to the X. Then I'm gonna click Control R to add a loop cut, and then I'm gonna click and drag it near the top. Then I'm gonna click G and then Y to move it this way, just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Then I'm gonna do another one by clicking Control R, adding another one right about here, Then I'm gonna click G and Y again, move it over here. So now we have our little zigzag to give it more depth in a way. I guess, I don't really know. It's a bit too straight this way still, so I'm gonna go on the Y axis, or if you did it on the Y axis, you would do it on the X. I'm gonna select the bottom. The bottom one should still be selected. Then I'm gonna click G and then X to then move it just a little bit this way. And if you want, you can select this one and move it that way too if you want. And if you did want to do that, you just go up to this line, hold down Alt, and then click the line, then click G and then X to then move it this way, and then you kind of got like a cool little zigzag thing. So now we have the base of our tree. So now I'm just going to go back into object mode by going up to the top left, clicking object mode, and this is the base of our tree. So now we need to actually add the tree trunk part. So you can either copy and paste this by clicking Control C, Control V, and then adding this to the side of the branches and just repeat it if you just want to do it quick and easy. But I'm personally not gonna do that because I like to, again, make mine look more, just make it just look better. So what I'm gonna do is repeat the process that I did for this tree, but not make it curvy like this. So I'm gonna select the cylinder, click H to hide it. Then I'm gonna go to add, and then mesh, and go to cylinder. And then again, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing as I did last time, just gonna speed it up. There we go. Now we have our other tree part and it's nice and straight. And again, you don't have to do this. You could just reuse the trunk part, but I'm just gonna do this to make my tree look a little bit more random and natural. Now I'm just gonna move this over by clicking G and then Y, or use the move tool. Then I'm gonna unhide our old tree. You can click the eyeball or click Alt and H to unhide everything. Then I'm gonna scale this down by clicking S and then Z, scale it down. I need this to be a little bit thicker outwards, so I'm gonna go back into edit mode, select the top face, then click S to scale up. And I don't want it to be, I still want the bottom to be a little bit bigger, but I am gonna scale it down a little bit and then scale this one down a little bit. So now from here, I'm gonna go back into object mode. Then I'm gonna align this to where I want it to come out. So I'm gonna click R and then Y and then type in 90 for 90. Then I'm going to move it along here and just line it up so it's good, so we can actually start working on the shape of the branch. And it's pretty big, so I'm just gonna click S to scale it down. So now with the branch selected, I'm gonna click it, go to edit mode. Then I'm gonna click Z to go on the Z axis. Then I'm gonna click R to rotate it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Then I'm gonna click E to extrude it out. Then I'm gonna click R again to rotate it this way. And then I also want it to the branch to extrude upwards. So I'm gonna go to the Y axis mode. Then I'm gonna click R to rotate it upwards. Then I'm gonna click E. Then I'm gonna go back into the Z axis. I'm gonna rotate it this way. And then I want it to go down. You can do this any way you want. I want it to go down a little bit. And then I'm gonna click E to extrude it outwards. Then I want it to be pointy because this just looks goofy. So I'm gonna click S to scale it in. And there we go. There is our tree branch. Now you can make it however you want. You can make it smaller or bigger. So now from here, you just want to copy and paste this all around the tree. You can do this to however liking you want. Sorry guys, the sped up footage was lost, and I don't know if you guys will know exactly how I did it, so I'm gonna go back and do it right now for you guys. So basically what you want to do is hold down Shift and then D to duplicate it, or you can do Control C, Control V. Then you want to click G to move it around, or I recommend moving it with the move tool. And then to rotate it, you can click R and then a certain axis to rotate it. Or what I like to do is if you double tap R, you're able to freely move it like this. Okay, so this is the tree that I came up with. Now we're gonna get on to texturing the tree. So if you see here, every single piece is separate, and if you go over to the hierarchy, you can see every single cylinder. And to texture it, just to make it way easier, we're gonna connect them all. And to do that, I'm gonna go over to the hierarchy, select the first cylinder, then while holding Shift, go to the bottom one, and then select it, and then that will select all of them. Then you want to click Control and then J to join it all together. Now, as you see, if I click G to move it around, it stays still. So now to texture it. I will leave the texture that I use down in the description if you want to use it. But first, we actually need to see our texture. So we're going to go over to the little balls. And we're going to click the material one. And then same thing by clicking this tree. Then by clicking the material properties tab. Now what I like to do is keep it organized when it's in Unity is change the name to tree. So by clicking the tree, I'm going to click F2 and then change the name to tree. In the material properties, I'm going to click new, and then where it says base color, I'm going to click the little yellow icon. Then I'm going to go to image texture, open, and then locate your tree texture. Once you found it, you want to open it up, and if you're using the same one as mine, or actually any texture you'll put on this, will look a little bit something like this, which isn't very pretty, so we need to clean it up. The first thing I'm going to do is if you can tell a little bit, it's a little bit shiny, and we don't really want that since trees aren't shiny. So I'm going to scroll down on the materials property where it says roughness. I'm going to turn it all the way up. Then as you see, there's no more shininess. Now to actually fix the texture, we're going to go into, with the tree selected, we're going to go into edit mode, then click A to select everything, and then U, and then Q projection. We could do cylinder projection, but personally I don't really like it. It looks kind of weird. And it's kind of weird to work with. So now if we go into object mode, we can see it fixed the textures a little bit, but it's still a bit stretched and janky. So if you like it just like this, you can have it like this. So we're going to go over to the top where it says UV editing. Then you will see 2 tabs, and this will be your actual material or your tree, and then this will be your texture. And we can't see it, so we need to scroll right on the top and then switch back to the material so we can actually see it. Then on the left side, I'm going to click A to select everything. Then I'm going to click S and then X to scale it outward. And oh crap. And scale it to where it looks normal. If you scale it too much, you'll see that it will start to do something like that. And if you do it too little, it will stretch. So just do it to where it looks reasonable and good. So I think that looks pretty natural. But it still looks a bit weird. So I'm going to click S and then Y to then scale it up a bit. And there we go. So now I'm going to go back in the layout, and you'll see that our tree looks like an actual tree now. So now here is your Gorilla Tag tree. So here is your Gorilla Tag fan game tree. But one thing, last thing to do with the textures is if we look closely, we can see it is a bit blurry, and to make it look better and like not blurry is to go over to the material properties, and where it says linear, change this to closest. Now, when we go up to it, it's pixelated, and it just looks so much better. If you want me to go more in depth and make this tree look 100 times better with leaves and maybe even some animation, then just let me know in the comments below. And if you guys like these type of videos, then just let me know in the comments. So now we actually need to get this into Unity. So to do that, it's actually pretty easy. So first thing we need to do is go over to where it says File, then go down to where it says Export, and then FBX. Then name it whatever you want, then save it, or export it. So now we can just minimize or close out of Blender right now. Then in Unity, you just want to open up your project. Once your project's open, you want to go to where it says the assets bar, and then you want to right click, go to import new asset. Then find your tree, FBX, import. Then you want to click the tree. Then if you go and drag in the tree right now, it won't be collidable. So what we need to do is go over to the left with the tree selected, and then click generate colliders, and then click apply. So now your tree will have colliders. The tree is absolutely massive, so I'm just going to scale it down, go into the scale tool. So there we go. Now we have our tree, but if you notice there, it imported with no textures. So if you don't already have one, go to your materials folder. Then if you don't know how to make one, right click, create, folder, name it whatever, open it, and then add in your texture. Right click, import new asset. Then you want to import your tree texture and just click and drag it on. And as you can see, nothing messed up. It looks exactly how you did it in Blender. And there you go. There is your tree. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I know it's kind of long, but there was a lot to cover. And if you guys want to see the tree more detailed and more in depth, then just let me know. If you have any questions, just comment them down below. And if you want to see more content like this, then just let me know. But thank you guys so much for liking. If you guys could please like and subscribe, that would mean the absolute world to me. It's just a button. It does nothing to you. Just click the red button and the blue button. Or gray, but I don't know. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!